I just don't see the stream.
Yeah.
What is going on, uh, CSC people? We are here to cast FNL versus BOA, the number 2 versus the number 3 seed. In the recruit upper bracket, I am Evan. I'm joined with Regent here to cast this lovely game. How we doing tonight?
Doing great. I mean, it's been a solid evening so far. I would expect that some good old fashioned Counter Strike is going to happen today. After all, we are still in the upper bracket of the playoffs. And both these teams, it seems like from what we've seen in terms of the people, a part of the committee doing the predictions, it seems like both these teams are so good that they should really be in the finals. So I would imagine that this game is going to deliver on all fronts, I would say.
I'm definitely a biased party because one of these teams are my recruits, so I agree. But it is the number 2 versus the number 3 seed. So the nature of double elimination is really crazy because the number 1 seed and the number 4 seed are in the lower bracket, and one of them is going home packing tonight. And
Wow.
the lower bracket's going to get even more intimidating because whoever loses this is going down to the lower bracket. So we are going to see potentially either the number 2 seed or the number 3 seed going down, and there's already the number 1 and the number 4 going down, or already down there. So it's getting pretty ferocious.
I
But
would imagine so, especially with those top teams kind of going down. And these pick bands are really going to go a different way. I have a big feeling. I kind of took a look at both these teams. One of the interesting thing that I wanted to point out was that I was really curious as to what the Peasant Pythons were really going to pick because there's such a very, very strained map pick from Cryptic Crawlers
yeah,
that it made me believe that there was going to be a bit of a punish pick coming in. And the punish pick has arrived because the most banned map by the side of Cryptic Crawlers is Nuke. And guess what? It's been picked as the first map for this veto here. Of course, Cryptic Crawlers will then pick Inferno, which is a pretty solid choice for them. They have a pretty good ratio on it, 100% after 3 matches played. So they're going to get something comfortable. Where do you think this last one's going, though? Mirage or Train is interesting.
I have a little bit of insider information. I have a
Ooh.
feeling that my crawlers are gonna pick train. They've been practicing it a little bit. The bans went about how I thought it was gonna happen. So if you look at the Python's ban matrix, the 2 maps they banned the least are Overpass and Nuke. So it
Mm-hmm.
was more along the lines of I think to the Python's credit,
Ooh. There we go.
they might be the only team in recruit who is competent on Overpass. So it made sense that we banned it, but I thought they were either going to pick Ancient or Nuke. They picked Nuke. That might shake things up a little bit. I think the crawlers might be able to sneak away with it, but it is going to be a tough map for them.
No, yeah, I would have believed so as well, especially with how dominant they've been looking, especially, and that's the thing too. Sometimes it could be whether you have a very wide variety of maps, just like the Peasant Pythons, or you have a more constructed map pick band for the Cryptic Crawlers as well, where you do have a lot of these strong maps. Inferno, like we said, they played it 3 times, a lot more than any other map that has been played by the side of the Peasant Pythons. So I will see that. I would imagine that Inferno is going to go a lot more dominant. So if the Peasant Pythons are going to want any chance of winning the series, they need Nuke, and it's going to be that
That's
first
right.
map. Hopefully, they're going to be cooking. Hopefully, they warm themselves up. But I'm ready. I'm really excited to watch this game. What about you, Evan?
I am too, man. I mean, Nuke is my favorite map. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, it's not my recruit's favorite map, but it's mine. So no matter how this first one goes, I'm pretty hyped to see it in the
I
playoffs.
I can agree, honestly. I feel like Nuke is just that map that you never like to play. You never like to see in your face of Pug. But when it comes to watching it, oh, it can deliver some good old fashioned cinema here.
That's
And
right.
I would imagine, like I said, this is a punish pick. It will be interesting to see if it does go the way of the Peasant Pythons. As I mentioned earlier, we did see the prediction committees say that everyone believes this is going to go to 3 maps. Now, personally, for me, I feel like this first map is really going to determine whether we do go there because it seems like Inferno's a knock out of the park for the Cryptic Crawlers. But I mean, we will have yet to see. And then, of course, like you said, Train is coming in for that 3rd map. It'd be really interesting to see where that goes. After all, both teams not as comfortable. They don't have that many reps on it, so that's going to give us some pretty interesting, unorthodox Counter Strike to say the least.
Yep, I'm certainly excited. One thing to look out for is the Cryptic Crawlers are not playing with the full roster tonight. Raymond is out. Everybody in the chat say safe travels, Raymond. He's out of the country all week on a work trip. So we picked up Pook as our sub. Pook has been tearing it up. Has some of the best stats in the entire tier of recruit, despite being a free agent. So if we might have a super sub in the making here, definitely a player to look out for.
We love them super subs, I will say. So, I mean, after all, 1.27 rating, he's really showing out. And I would imagine that they will be able to provide that sort of X factorness to them to then lift them up even further. That's one of the biggest things, too. But let's not forget, there's also another fragger on the other side of the Pythons. We're talking about Provolone, currently sitting at a
Oh yeah,
1.23. He's another heavy hitter. And so it'd be pretty interesting. And I would imagine that this Peasant Pythons team is not someone to really underestimate, especially when they got two rookies who were really trying to make their best out of their first league representation. So there's a lot to be on the other side as well. I mean, as much as your cryptic crawlers are kind of cooking here, I mean, I would imagine the Peasant Pythons are not going to back down at this challenge, and it will be an interesting challenge to say the least. And I mean, like I said, rookies, this really is especially being in that upper bracket, it gives you a little bit of the freedom knowing that you won't be eliminated if you lose this game, but you still want to have the better chance at getting yourselves closer and closer to those grand finals. So I would imagine that this BO3, it's going to cook today.
yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. And Nuke, oh man, it fills my heart with joy to see that being played. One thing that is the Provolone, his stats in the last best of three that were played, I think he had like a 1.4 like overall like throughout. Like
Yes.
definitely Bo is carried. That's not to like discount the rest of the team. They are very very strong.
It will say that is the difference maker in many cases. I mean, sometimes it doesn't really have to come to the strat. Sometimes it's just who shoots harder. And Provolone, like you said, it was actually just short of that 2.0. He was just
Yeah.
short of the 50 kill mark on the series, sitting at 49 and 25. Really showed out. I mean, but let's not forget as well on the other side, that previous matchup for the side of the Cryptic Crawlers, they took on Tofu Ticklers, beat him 2-0. Pretty solid one on Dust 2. The second one pretty close on Mirage, but the biggest talk of the town for that series was Trains, 38 and 28 with 99 ADR, really solid. And one thing to highlight as well, that Dust 2, not really one of the, I mean, it is their best map. 4 maps played, 100% win rate, and they really showed it, especially on that T side. A 7-round streak within that first half. I mean, we could, if Dust 2 was going to be coming into this, we would have had a pretty one-sided affair. But considering that it is the Peasant Python's biggest map ban, some may say the biggest haters of Dust 2. We won't be seeing it in this case. We won't have that kind of game coming in from Trains and the crew. And instead, we send ourselves over to Nuke first. So really excited to see this. We're going to take that quick break before we get into the server. But when we come back, it will be that first map pick of Nuke. Stay tuned.
when I look away, about to crash into my face. Just another day on the shelf. Pull me from my silhouette. Years have been estranged. Now a broken shell remains. I cannot embrace what I regret. Round and round, around I go. The spinning makes me ill. An image held inside the very world I build. Please help me now, 'cause I can't even feel enough to know if I get out. I'm numb to the pain, but hollow without. Floating in a world of glass, I can imitate. Got a smile worth its weight. When the mirror breaks, will someone ask? Round and round, around I go. The spinning makes me ill. A hostage held inside the very world I build. Please help me now, 'cause I can even feel enough to know if I get out. Will I allow another friend to try and help and fail on my account?
And we are back. So sorry about that delay. We had some technical difficulties with one of the players on FNL, but they're all here and ready to game. Thank you so much for your patience.
Absolutely. Let's get ready to game indeed. As we discussed, it will be that first map pick of Nuke to start it off here, courtesy of the Peasant Pythons. A bit of a punish pick, as Cryptic Crawlers not really fond of this Nuke, so they're going to have to deal with this punish and see what they can make out of it. They do start on the defense, so at least that's a positive. And so let's see how the contact goes. Straight up into the A site is going to be all players on deck, and there's a defense already rotating just in time. They're able to make their way here. Smoke not really well designed for the mini coverage. However, Muppet still shooting heads off. Red Bull even gets on the board himself, and as that happens, it looks like Beef is left on his lonesome 1v3 in the clutch to try to make something happen, but he gets popped. Cryptic Crawlers get themselves the first round on the board.
Oh, yeah.
Solid start, though, I will say. Instant hit into the A site, and they just shoot some heads. A double found there on that attack. Allows them to get the first round on the board. Pretty solid stuff. Actually, a full house, I will say. Red Bull was able to get 3 on that one. Shooting some heads, huh?
Red Bull's full of Muppets. Looks like we're going for an outside pop for round 2 here.
Indeed.
We've got a couple. We got 2 AKs at Galil. You got a good buy here. I don't know. You gotta. Oh, he's already down secret. But with that smoke wall, you gotta hug the smokes, because if there was a player heaven, he could have gotten popped there.
Which I believe he is. That's Wittix who's playing that position. Should be watching from the top rope. I mean, it looks like based on his position, actually just playing hell, playing coverage there. Either way, able to make it across. There is still going to be a straggler.
Yeah, BOA likes to play double ramp. One of the ramp players, Nico, is already down and ready for the response in secret.
But taken out immediately.
Trains.
Yeah, taken down by train, so that's going to allow them.
We got someone ramp.
Push the train forward into that B site. Lurcy going to know all about the players pushing over towards B. Yep, and Muppet already getting the kill is going to make it a lot easier for this T-take to happen. It's just the pistols, though. They went for the save on this one, so no economy being wasted in this one, and it should be an easy round for the Cryptic Crawlers, and they're going to make it so.
Provolone versus the world here. Beef finally joining them in ramp.
Oh, that nade
goes out. Might kill. Gets the kill. Trains with the molly. Beef is smoked and mollied out and is on for the ace. Picks up the dualies and looks like to be saving. Trains, you good, bro?
1G, hello? All right, we'll allow for this one, all right? You're on 3 kills so far. No worries.
We'll chalk that one up to nerves. It's playoffs, you know?
Yeah, you know, sometimes you got to get those jitters out of the way, especially on a map like this on Nuke. You know, the last thing you want is to be nervous when it comes to a very technical map like this, so let's see if that works out. But either way, Cryptic getting themselves a double. They should be good to go, but the guns will likely come out for the Peasant Pythons.
Yeah, it looks like we're finally in our gun round versus gun round. They are buying. Let's see if they continue their double ramp. Let's see how the crawlers tend to plan their attack. So far, Red Bull 3-0, Muppet 3-1, Trains 3-1. Great shooting all around.
Absolutely. Let's see if it continues. Keep in mind, we did say that Pook was the highest fragger on this team, and so we'd be interested to see if they continue to show some form here alongside Red Bull as well and Muppet. And already getting started early with the contact here. Trains taking all the pressure into radio, and he's going to spot nothing. Nothing indeed. And instead, the rotation is going to be coming in towards that B site, but nobody to be found.
Ramp, the smoke wall fake.
Absolutely not. There is a player here.
One cross.
That's Provolone.
A player playing in Provolone.
Got to stay alive. Got to be careful, especially with the contact coming in. The cavalry starting to arrive from the D side. Okay. Able to get the second there. Trains with the trade, as indeed. There is another player playing over here. It's Wittix, who hasn't had the best of stats in terms of the team so far, but he's going to try for his best. But Trains getting himself a double.
The double door. Could have gotten planter.
Close, but no cigar. Bomb won't be planted, though. That a little bit of distraction forces them off the bomb, but they will get it down eventually. Contact play coming in from Beef, and will take down Red Bull. And Beef getting himself a double. Train's not ready for that potential, and Lorcy able to get the rotation just in time. The Pythons will get their first round of the board.
What a retake. Pretty clutch play from Beef. I don't know if we should have been pushing up ramp that fast, but yeah, no, that was really well done. They played off each other's contact really well, and they got the round. Hell yeah.
I will say it is. I will say I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. You definitely want to have the more advantageous positions, especially from where they planted. They planted incredibly open, so having that ramp position would have been very vital. But sometimes that does pay the price, and you got to be very aware for those extremities that get taken over, especially on those retakes. Not ready for it. Beef gets a double, and Lorsey just needs to finish off the rest, and he will to get the first here.
Outside, Lou is throwing the glaive smoke, already tucked in the garage. Smoke wall goes out. Mini players already on the case.
Double molly being used up by the CT side. Try to hold them at bay for the time being. Hold them back from secret. They will pop the smoke, but Pook, knowing of the one CT, not able to land the shots just yet. Lorsey instead gets himself one onto Red Bull. So a 5v4 advantage, something that we haven't said from the Peasant Pythons as of yet. However, Pook able to take out Wittix towards that lower position. They're going to push the gas onto this B site.
They have the intel as well, the 3-mid on secret.
Yeah, rotation's going to come in a little bit late, but it will come eventually. Provolone being the first man up. Had a good time in terms of defending the first hit onto B.
What a shot from Muppet!
Oh, indeed. Muppet letting Provolone know that I'm a hard hitter as well. Great shot there. And right then and there, it's going to be a 4v3, 4v2 now. Neko having a bit of issues on the server. Gets DC'd. Sable able to find another one themselves. And Lorsey stuck in the 1v4. And with all the economy drizzled out for the Pythons, they're just going to have to go for the save here. Save that AK and hope for the best into the next round. But that's going to be a bit of a misfortunate moment there with the DC. But either way, Cryptic Crawlers will find a response.
I hope everything's okay with Neko. The DC is a little tough. Hopefully they're not having any troubles with internet or anything like that. That's definitely something you don't like to see in the middle of the game. Hopefully all is good.
We'll be seeing that tech pause coming in just to make sure that Neko does arrive back on the server. But solid start so far on this T side. Keep in mind, as we've mentioned, Cryptic Crawlers not one to enjoy playing on Nuke, but really doing good so far to start off this game.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm obviously pleased. 3 on T already is pretty fantastic. This is definitely one of the most CT-sided maps in the game. And all of that. So like winning pistol, getting the conversion, and getting a gun is pretty huge. Like you really only need about 4 or 5 to give you wiggle room to have a pretty solid CT half. So like they're halfway there. So pretty good.
I mean, I will say, well, let's talk. I mean, it's Nuke after all. I mean, it's arguably the most CT-sided map to ever exist on CS. We used to talk about days where if you were up 11-1, the game wasn't over just yet because the other team could try for a 12-0 on the CT side. So in this case, getting a lot of those, getting a lot of those T-sided rounds on Nuke is a real big advantage. And in the way that they're doing it so far, really taking that outside control and getting the openings into that lower position, it's been really rough for the CT side to even have a chance at these retakes. It feels like they're pretty much out of the round within the first 20 seconds, I would say.
Yeah, they're doing a very good job of picking their fights and isolating duels. Half the time they have 2 or 3 dead before the bomb is even planted, which is pretty solid. You're already it's super hard to retake the site at that point. We're back. Neko is back. Hopefully that's the only time they DC. Throwing a door molly here. Provolone, they're crunching lobby. They have the intel and they're running outside. They are so smart, bro.
As expected, this is surely the response that you get once you see that there is that lobby pinch. You just send yourselves anywhere away from that lobby. And so once again, it looks like it's going to be that secret wrap. There's not going to be really any sort of contest, considering the CTs are not in position to make a defense happen towards this B side. So eventually, if they go through the protocols, util should be landing, maybe not at the feet of your own teammates, but landing anyways. And so we should be seeing that bomb plant. It will be a rotation coming in from the pistols, but I would imagine the gun advantage would just lead to a 4th for Cryptic. Ooh, but Sable takes a big amount of damage from a 5-7. 5-7 tends to be OP. Finds himself one. Provolone also able to find Pook. Crazily enough, the 5-7's finding damage here. What do you know? It's a 4v1. Red Bull trying to save things. Does have the AK and could work it up. But with both players now finding themselves on weapons, it's going to have to be Red Bull to fight hard. And fight hard indeed. But good coverage coming in from Neko. Able to clutch it out. No kit, though. So a little bit worried about how this will end up. I think it's just enough.
I think they just get it.
Maybe? Yes, it is. So a close call there, but Peasant, they came back with a crazy eco. That's one of those rounds that you should not give up as a team.
Yeah, that is definitely a hard loss indeed. Little undisciplined in the post plant here. However, um, I don't know. That you gotta love to see that. I love to see scrappy eco rounds. I love to see that.
I mean, we talk about the 5.7. It's the 5.7. In many cases, it's pretty much an AK at times, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that they just felt the damage of what the 5.7 can do. And every 5.7 on that server found themselves a kill when needed most. And big pickup there. They can get themselves a little bit of economy. They have a lot of weapons to work with, especially with the minimum amount of casualties they did. Were able to save 2 players, and now they're going to put the pressure a little bit more. They have the cryptic crawlers. A bit nervous, a bit nerve-wracking moment here for the T side as they try to gain themselves composure. It's going to be this outside hit. Muppet taking the swing. Lorsey, though, able to get the one, but traded back by Red Bull, leaving it to even advantage.
Get Beef lurking up the stairs here on Secret, seeing if they can get a timing on this Africa player.
Ooh,
Like
the
ships in the
mistiming.
night.
Yep, both missed each other at the worst timing possible. So misinfo there, but Trains able to get the contact. I believe that's sort of the upper player as well. Yet they still made themselves down towards B.
Beef
So
is in a
playing from the
really good
top and the
spot here.
bottom. Ooh, and that shot being shot off. Beef now is already known of by the T's, and they're just going to bombard his position, making it easy to take him out. And Provolone in the 1v4. Like we mentioned, the heaviest hitter of this squad had a solid match in that last series against Roombas, but I think this is too much of a tall task to ask for in this one.
I mean,
and it looks
yeah,
like he'll save.
he does have an AK, full armor. It's pretty wise to save here. Goes Heaven. Oh, it's
Ooh.
because there's an AWP, I see.
Looking at it with juicy eyes, like he saw a T-bone steak. I mean, I would imagine he's going to keep it. Now, can he get a couple kills with it, though, as they are going to come towards his position, towards Secret. Ooh, I thought that hit, but instead it misses. They know of him. Pook goes down with the bomb, but he'll retain the op. He knows not to peek again with it, and so he'll be able to retain it for his teammates. And like we mentioned, the eco was there in the previous one, so they do have a decent amount of economy on a couple players to try to make another round happen, which is why I believe the timeout was called by the Pythons to discuss that out, you know, try to see what they can make out of this round.
I definitely think this timeout is super smart on behalf of the Pythons. They still have somewhat of a buy to scrape together here. Maybe they're discussing changing the default. Maybe they're discussing rotates. But I think that they need to start scraping some rounds together on CT to keep it competitive. I think they're the team to do it. This was their map pick after all. I don't know. Let's see what they get.
I mean, one thing that I thought we could highlight a little bit was how they were combating the outside presence, because Cryptic has pretty much gone outside, I would say 80% of the round so far. And I did remember seeing that one round where they were able to blow the smokes, use the mollies to be able to hold them back for the time being. So really good use of util to try to combat that outside presence. But can they do the exact same thing again? I feel like util is one of the most pivotal things to know on CT side to disgruntle this T side attack.
It is very important.
Echo coming in with contact, but smoked out. The L smokes will land, simulating some sort of cross towards the outside, but instead Sable is going to ring off the dinner bell here, gets the early kill onto the Beef, but Wittix with the MP9 swings back into Trains, and Wittix getting himself
Sable
a double.
goes down too.
Now going to
Gets
find an
the
AK as well. They know of the position though, and it's going to be a lot tougher to try to fight from this one spot. Yeah, and they will take him out together, 3v3. Neko though, got to be careful, not knowing a Pook in the Asia corner.
Neko gets two!
Kill, and
Goes
almost
down
a
the
third.
Muppet.
Not able to land it. Lorsey
Look
have a
at the
triple with the
timing.
ladder.
Oh, but it's stuck on the ladder. The Muppet.
No, indeed. Muppet able to get away with a big one. Currently sitting at 8-4, second top fragger on the server, able to save things in what was a chaotic round. And we can see that Neko's DC getting back, reconnecting to the server, also reconnecting the gun, and made good work of that second of that 2K with the op, but just not able to land that third. Makes it a little bit rougher there. But Cryptic still sticking alive, get themselves another round. Some may say one of the tightest of rounds compared to what we've been seeing so far on Nuke.
That was for sure the craziest round. I hope we will see. Ooh. They're rushing outside. Muppet gets one. Sable gets another. Red Bull gets one.
Should be a cleanup with all these AKs pretty much watching over these pistols.
Farming right now. What a spray down from Red Bull getting the last two.
Yeah, indeed. Should be done though. 6-2 here. Make good work of that pistol. Make sure the 5.7s don't do the same thing that they did when they found their second round. and they put them in the grave. But the gun buy will now come out from the Pythons as they regain themselves a little bit of traction in terms of their economy. They'll find some weapons ready to go. They'll even get themselves on the op back on Neko, which we did mention we saw on that penultimate round previously. The double up on that save, but not able to do enough as Lorsey had a hard time trying to get up the ladder. Let's see if they can find some impact in this one. I do think that the op needs to get active now. Right now, not really showing much of an impact other than that round, but this could be the very best time to do so.
Oh my God, the Muppet!
Okay, never mind. Neko taken down immediately after the smoke blooms. Muppet with a great shot. Lorsey, though, able to even it back, and Wittix puts one further. Takes down Train. So a 4v3 now for the Pythons. Good position here. They're going to respond by taking that lobby position because, once again, they've always been going one place and one place only. That's towards that lower position. Provolone is here. And last time...
spot here. I don't even know if they're going to clear clock. I don't
Nope,
think
they're not doing it. They're still only watching the shadow position. Provolone surely get it, but it's going to go for the one with the gun first, then go for the planner. Great kills there. Able to think diligently about that, and it's a 3-hit by Provolone. Cleaning house, looking good on the defense. We saw him on that first 2K in the previous hold, but this time he does one better. He sets himself up, and they get a third here for the Pythons.
That's my boy Pro, the big
I don't
cheese.
know if... Oh, yeah, we're officially joined by BOA's Peeb. The Peebles champion is here to provide some BOA glazing, so it's not just a one-sided FNL glaze fest. So welcome, Peebs. I'm glad you could finally make it, brother.
Yeah, and here's the first glaze. Provolone dropped a 1.5 average last match day. And he's showing that he can replicate that.
I mean, we almost saw him getting a 50 kill series on that one as well. Almost a 2.0 KD on that. Just missed it off by 1 kill. That 150 kill would have made it the difference. But we know that this guy definitely has the potential. We've seen it pretty much in the last 2 defenses he's been able to do on B. I would imagine that there's a lot more going to be needed from him, but he's got to have his teammates step up a little bit.
Well, notably after the tech, they're looking a lot stronger here. So they've changed their default quite a bit. Usually Provolone and Neko double ramp. Provolone is now playing mini, and Neko is outside open. So they've changed a good bit, and it seems to have that adaptability seems to have netted them around and might continue to do so.
Maybe a little warmed up, wanting to get the gun active a little bit more, but right now the guns on the Pythons are getting active. This gun buy has gone nowhere for the crawlers, taken down at the bits and pieces, and now Sable and Red Bull sticking up last alive, but Provolone once again getting himself on the scoreboard, and we'll double up there. So the Pythons now starting to get a little bit of momentum on their side. They find 4 here on the CT side.
Peasant Python, Shed and Skin becoming royalty, getting 2 in a row. They're coming back.
Coming back indeed.
Seemingly really hard, just losing CT side. They're getting this stuff together. They're calling this appropriate timeouts. It's looking good.
I mean, yeah, let's not mention that timeout that came in earlier. That pretty much was kind of the game changer, I will say. Maybe a little too antsy. Maybe a little too antsy, maybe trying to get things back together. It was a bit chaotic towards that beginning. They weren't ready for the outside presence being consistently coming every single round. But this time now they're ready for it. They're combating it, and that Molly
did so much damage.
Yeah, indeed. Looking like lava on the feet of the Cryptic crawlers. Right now having a hard time crawling over towards that outside position. But once again, they will go towards that, but there will be no contest coming in from the CT side. They're not in great position. Train's trying to find contact, but Neko with the AK, the better weapon, does good work. Finds a double before getting traded out. A good kill. Wittix able to find one from the top rope. Provolone now going to be Nona playing from that Asia position, and the Pythons string themselves 3 rounds here. We get to the last round of the half. I'm thinking that the Pythons are back.
I'm thinking that they're back as well. 3 in a row. Timeout, changed the default accordingly. They're looking pretty unstoppable right now on CT. We got Lurcy with the op. That is unusual. Is it Neko usually the upper Peeps?
Yeah, Nico's usually the opper, but I guess maybe Nico's just like, hey man, I can't find value this thing. That's an up and spawn.
And who knows? Maybe Lurcy needs to.
Maybe
Lurcy needs to get some. Yeah, maybe Lurcy needs to try a different weapon here, especially on a 4 and 7 stat line. Maybe try to improve things. One thing to note as well in terms of stat lines: Pook 1 and 9. Pretty much top-rated player on that Cryptic Crawlers team is not having the best of games here on Nuke. It's looking rough for that top rifler. Lorsey finding the first contact onto Red Bull. That op working on the different hands for the Pythons here and looking to find some more. Finds contact, but not able to hit the shot. Instead, takes a tag on his own end. But looking for more, looking for trouble. Will he get it, or will he get the bullet of Muppet? We did see Muppet take down Nico with an instant headshot onto Neko, but this time...
We've got beef in secret
Trying the same
already.
thing.
This could be really deadly for the crawlers here.
Ooh, misses the chance though, misses the shot, and now just gonna throw some util, say, here you go, have this one instead, and does a decent amount of damage actually, onto Trains more so than Muppet, I will say, but Muppet still sticking around, still having a fight. Neko was able to take out Sable towards a lurk position on B site. One able to get through the backlines though. You see number 9, that's Trains, who was able to finally get through that B site, and you see that rotation coming in from Beef. Maybe he's suspecting about that potential. Lorsi able to get a tag onto Pook, 22 HP now, and so this op is starting to get active, but just needs to find the kill shot. It's just been tags, but no finishing blow yet. And as you see, number 9 still going through, might find the backline here, might find a Beef not looking the right way,
Trains on a
and
really
a big
scrumptious
pickup.
timing here. We got Nico ready to respond already. Trains goes down immediately.
Okay.
6-6. They brought it back. That's four in a row. They strung 4 in a row. Scoreline here, Pook is 1-10. It's looking like hopefully he's a second half player. Hopefully CT is his time to shine. But all in all, 6-6. That's about as even as it can possibly get. 6 on T, super impressive. And hats off to the Pythons for stringing 4 in a row, bringing it back.
Yeah, indeed. Peeps, how are you feeling, man? The Pythons able to get back into that one. It was looking a bit dire in terms of the start on the CT side, but how do you feel about that comeback there towards that last end?
Feeling great. Honestly, I'm less concerned about the overall score line, but just momentum. And the main thing I coached my recruits about going in was just mentality, right? You can't let those strings of losses at the start discourage you. You need to take whatever timeouts you need to. You need to make mental timeouts and just track everybody accordingly. And once you get everybody back on track, just start winning and string together rounds.
Yeah, I will say, considering that in that previous matchup that you guys had against the Roombas, there was a 6-round swing from the Roombas, and that's one thing that I would imagine that was a talking point for the Pythons. Don't let those swings get into them. Instead, create the swings yourself. After all, sometimes CS2 could be a game of momentum, and right now you need the momentum with such little amount of rounds per half, so I would imagine that this is going to be a nice confidence boost for the Pythons as they go themselves on the T side. They're going to push themselves into that A side, repeating the same play that the Crawlers created on their T side, finding a decent amount of kills, but it's trades back and forth. The CTs have rotated just in time. Pook having a little bit of trouble still finding some kills here with this pistol. There is going to be some support coming in from Trains, and it's a little bit rough. Provolone, though, still hitting headshots, leaving it to Trains. 1v2, low
Both are
HP on
super
both. Yep, you say it right. 29 and 5, a collective 34. Should be easy, but not able to land the shots. Provolone still hitting like a madman. It's a double-double from the remaining players, and ladies and gentlemen, it's 6-7.
6-7, 6-7,
6-7. But yeah, no, very, very, very good to bring that out. CS2 is just as much, especially in best of 3 in playoffs. Nerves are high, tensions are rising, right? It's just as much of a mental game, if not more, than it is the physical one, right? So like keeping a cool head is very, very important in situations like this.
Yeah, definitely.
So
especially
this is
like
what
you
their
said.
5th in a row. This is super impressive from the Pythons.
Oh yeah, let's not forget that. Yeah, 5 in a row so far as of this point, and they could continue on 6. It should be a cleanup with the MAC-10 if they can find the bullets. They will find a decent amount of damage onto the pistols, but Neko should take care of this. Having a little bit of a hard time being able to handle all the pressure, and will get taken down. But the bomb has been planted towards that A side, so the objective has at least been done. But can they just finish it up is the question. A couple MAC-10s being retrieved by the CTs is going to make it a lot tougher to try to hold this back, but surely should be done.
Yeah, a lot of space for the side of the Peasant Pythons, and no armor on the side of the Cryptic Crawlers means this should be an easy sweep up, as seen.
And it will be.
Yep.
Yeah. Just easy days there for the T side as expected. Came at a couple casualties, but I would imagine they're going to upgrade themselves into better buys. And of course, the Cryptic Crawlers, that was just a save for them. So pretty much just easy protocol there. Now they're going to get themselves on a buy. And now a timeout. What do you think the Crawlers are talking about here, Evan? What do you think they're trying to go through in terms of being able to get back into this game after losing the lead here?
I think it's just so much of a mental timeout, similar to what we saw with BOA's timeout. I don't think they're really going to change the default all that much because they haven't really had much of an opportunity to even, have it happen. It's only been the first 2 rounds of the second half. It's probably just let's take a breather. We're still in this. We're on our first gunny. Let's just keep our heads in the game.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing that we want to point out, I mean, I really don't like doing this, but it's just something that we do have to point out. The best rifle right now on the crawlers is not having the best of games here on Nuke. And that's something like we talked about.
Pugin's a
If
sub.
you're,
He's not the best rifler on the crawlers. It's
oh, really?
usually either Muppet or Red Bull or
Oh,
Raymond. He's subbing out for
okay.
Raymond.
Oh, well, I had a really great rating on my matrix.
Had a great rating as a FA. He's been tearing it up in the servers for sure though.
Okay,
But I don't think
interesting.
Nuke is Pook's favorite map. I think he struggles on it a good bit, and he'll
Yeah.
probably be all mine when they get to Inferno and train.
Yeah, but
totally.
right now we still have to go through Nuke though. And right now on Nuke, starting it off early, Cryptic will find the early advantage though. Pook getting on the board, trying to get himself back into winning ways, but the bomb will get through towards that B site. It will get planted as well. There's only one player that has made himself over here towards this rotation. It's Trains, but Trains getting bombarded with util. Got to make sure to wait for the cavalry to arrive, make sure the support is there so they can make a pretty decent and efficient attack. They're going to get attacked though from that short position, but it's Provolone. You can't mess with them. Sable though will put him down, and it will be that last player up on beef as Pook
playing in dark. Gets his Pook going in for the clear, takes him out, and that is the retake.
Now that's a confidence booster right there. Pook getting himself 3K on that round. Try to get themselves back into winning ways here. They will find this round, I would suspect. I thought the diffuse came in time, and it will come in time. So will be that 7th coming in for the crawlers. They find themselves their first round in the second half on the first gun buy.
Definitely a confidence booster indeed. I agree wholeheartedly. They needed that round to keep this competitive. First gunny, they got it. Let's see if they can string some rounds together. Nice to see that they won the round after the timeout and attack. I tell my teams all the time that attacks, much like anything else in the game, is a resource that needs to be used accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not using them, then you're doing something wrong. So
yeah.
hopefully
I mean, even if it's just a breather, even if it's just a breather,
it's so
really.
important, man. It's so important.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in a string of lost rounds, I mean, they're there, and you won't get them into the next map. So use them while you can. I always say, especially when I see teams never use their timeouts, the reason why you lost is chances are you didn't take a break in terms of being ready for this attack. But right now, after that, it looks like the attack's going to come in quick and fast towards that B site. Early contact, able to take down Trains for the first pick, and it's going to be a lot rougher for this rotation to be able to provide coverage. Pook though,
Muppet's in a really good spot here if they can capitalize.
Yeah, indeed. Puppet, got to be very careful though. Got to play the timing. Know when to peek. Know when to open the door. But Lorcy watching for this position, so it's all a matter of who pulls their trigger first.
Yeah, it's a real shootout here.
It's a standoff. Who's going to come out the victor is the question, though. Still sticking around. Muppet, though, now opens up, wins the gunfight onto Lorcy, and here comes the hit on towards that ramp play.
Dark, doesn't know about the guy clock, doesn't know about the guy double. Great molly from Muppet. They're running out of time, though.
Yeah, it should be Dunzo with the time really ticking down all the way to the ending point. Neko's going to run out just to make sure to save the weapon. Wittix will clean it off anyways, and the Pythons find themselves a response instantaneously here. They find themselves 9.
Hectic openings. We saw that in the last round of Cryptic Callers 1, but they were not as hesitant to use their util as we saw. That round, they didn't really use that much util to stop the outside rush, but I don't know. I feel like maybe the lesson learned from their timeout didn't extend that much. They didn't really stick by it or something, because I just didn't see the adjustment that they made in the last timeout.
Yeah, no, it seems like the crawlers didn't really have a set game plan to continue the momentum forward, just get the one and done. And right now, they might just be done completely here, having a hard time being able to do it. Holy, fully blinded are both players. They got to be very careful, though. This crunch is coming in towards that lobby position where the bomb is completely vulnerable. Wittix trying to finish off this last player who's down to 40, but will not do so. They will find the kills regardless, though, but just enough. Lorcy.
Another hectic round, man.
Able to save the day on the 3K, finds it with the AK, and Pythons find themselves double digits.
This is recruit Counter-Strike, man.
This is seriously it, bro.
Standing in lobby, duking it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is all I can really ask for, I'm gonna be completely honest.
Sometimes these are the most entertaining games. You got to have a little bit of chaos in order to have a little bit of fun, you know? It's kind of like going to the bar, 2 drinks in. It's not. It's sometimes it could be fun. Sometimes it could be dastardly. And I would imagine for the crawlers right now, it is not
Depends on
looking
the bar.
pretty
To be
fun.
completely honest with you, bro.
That is true. That is true. Have a mechanical bull, and we'll be definitely having fun indeed. Here we go. L Smoke's already dropped in. Pook trying to go for a timing shot, not able to land anything there, and it's going to allow for the Pythons to continue forward towards his outside position. Looks like they're just replicating what the crawlers have done so best, and that's head over towards that secret position. They will take it completely. Bomb even able to make them their way there as well. Trains is the only person to rotate over towards that B site. There is still a lurk on the outside. That's Neko. So Muppet got to be very careful, but Train's still going to get bombarded here. First contact coming in, Provolone. But Provolone is looking like a madman, leading the way 17 and 10. They might find themselves another bomb plant, and they might find themselves another round.
The big question is...
yeah, what's up?
The big question is if the Cryptic Crawlers are going to save this, because their econ's in a little bit of a dire spot. 1 op, 2 rifles, and a
Personally, I
fair
would.
bit of util.
Yeah.
Yeah, seems like they're going for it.
Loss bonus is not great on their side either, so it would be a really good call to save this, but they still want to go for it. Maybe feeling lucky.
They've been a little lethargic with the retakes in general, so it's we're saving.
Yeah, and this one kind of falls dead as Sable gets taken out from the ramp position, so the rifle's trying to save up. Might die to the bomb radius. They are pretty low, but they're kind of running away decent amount of space. Oh, but instead, Wittix and Lurcy.
Damn, they almost lost 4 to the bomb.
Yeah, I will say 14 HP collectively between the T's, but they stay alive with a couple weapons. They're not worried too much, though. The economy is okay on their end. It's not in the best state, though. I will say Galil's coming out as well. But 11 now found for the Pythons. But I will say one thing that's really important is that the Crawlers have a really good opportunity to find themselves a run of their own, which is something that has been really important for their wins. They've been able to create a lot of these runs, and the Pythons have had moments where the runs end up going on their behind and really force them back. So let's see if things change up. But right now is the time to do so, especially on this very solid gun buy.
It would be this one. Huge nade. Huge nade. 46 health. Wow.
Ate that like a 5-star dinner indeed. You see that low HP on Wittix and Beef, both eating that thing up like the beef that he is. Okay.
Little off angle from Pook. Gets 2.
Okay. Yeah, indeed. Finds double on that upper angle here towards his credit card position. Already a 5v3 to start off this round. It's only been 30 seconds into the round. And what a big pickup there for the Crawlers. Trying for something new. And sometimes that's all it takes. Try for a different position. Try for a different angle. And maybe they're unsuspecting of it. They were unsuspecting of the op.
That's definitely one way to adjust that slow outside default. Instead of just still dumping like they were after the timeout, just stick a dude up there and just make him land his shots.
Now, we'll say it's really important for your outside players to just have nades at the ready, HE nades in particular, as well as mollies. I think those two are the most important utils for playing that outside / heaven / mini position. And if you don't have those, then you're just pretty much giving outside for free. There's really no contest, especially when they only go outside. So got to have that util set down, or sometimes you're just going to have to go for something incredibly ballsy as a top credit card piece like that.
It looks like they're just committing to the save here because of their eco. They've got 3 just sitting to your roof.
It's not a horrible call. They can get.
I respect the call. I respect the call.
Yeah. I mean, the money is still in a good state so far. You see Provolone,
need to win this next one, just depending on the eco, right? Because like Neko is not gonna make any money, right? Because they're saving, and it's at 150. So it will. The next round is paramount for the Peasant Pythons, just as much so as it is for the Cryptic Crawlers. Oh damn! A little toe shot there at Beef. Nice to know that they still have a sense of humor in a save like that.
Yeah. Now, I will say a little bit of armor chipped off on that one. I mean, I don't know. Do any of your Pythons have OCD in terms of looking at the number of the armor and seeing 99? They got to full buy that?
I think maybe a little, but like Beef was already very low, so I don't think he minded rebuying.
Fair enough indeed. All right, 11-8. Python's leading the way. They're gonna have to make something happen here, or else they're gonna see the bottom end of their wallets. And right now, it looks like they're just gonna go for an aggressive peek into the Soul B defender. That's gonna be Trains. Trains will get away with one.
Backs up.
Ooh, enough so, and able to get a better
Run,
position
brother!
here. Still going to get bombarded, though, by
It's
the Mac 10,
two!
but will be able to hold it down for the time being. Still going to get pressed here, though, by the Beef, man, and he will get the kill. Trade back in, but going for the instant plant, which is crazy, considering the double doors were just opened by the up.
Muppets going in.
Oh, indeed, and it looks like the T side just completely wiped out in this round. Last one up is Neko with the AK, waiting for any sort of aggression coming in from that B ramp position, but no one's going to give it to it for free. Instead, Red Bull is going to peek from the side and finish it off. The Crawlers finding a little momentum on their side. They find themselves on 9.
This is a round we love to see. Train's finally finding some value in the ramp position, getting one, dropping down, backing up. Very smart to play. Very smart play to make. Getting a second going down, that's all good because Pook was ready at double door to get the last, or not the last, the third. They played that really clean. They played like a sort of like tempered aggression that I like to see. Like it was like a disciplined sort of aggression. It was very well thought out.
Well, I think the biggest important thing was that Trains was able to hold back that T-side aggression. I mean, a couple damage, not only just to the kill, but also damaging a couple of the players trying to hit that early was huge, was pretty much pivotal. Yeah. So that way the rotations can make it in time. So that way they could just finish off the rest. So I think Trains being able to hold that aggression was big. Now, a timeout did come in from the Pythons. I want to kind of pick your brain a little bit, Peeps. What do you think were the talks here in that timeout, considering they're so close to the finish line here?
Well, the Cryptic Crawlers have shown that they're getting more used to the really, really fast tempo that the Peasant Pythons have shown. So I guess they're dropping. I guess they're just dropping.
Oh, wow. What a big pull there. They said, we'll send one back at you. And right now, it's just the Eco, too. There's a couple Mac 10s still on the field, and we've seen what Mac 10s and Tech 9s could do, especially at this close range. Wittix, very close here indeed. Train's got to be very careful. Going for the wide swing takes a lot of damage back at it, though. But peeking into it, Red Bull, though, providing coverage instead. Muppet able to sneak down towards the vent, but there is a lurker trying to peek right behind and trying to go for the flank shot. And back and forth, it's pretty much on the B side. Train's able to open it up. Glock able to find a kill. Actually, Beef, though, taken down immediately after Neko in the 1v3.
At this point.
Yeah, surely go for the defuse, but this Tech 9 could do a lot of damage, especially from a very close range position. Finds one, the spam through the smoke, but not enough. No bullets left on the Tech 9, and the defuse is stuck. The Crawlers find themselves on double digits.
That's still a really impressive round for the Pythons, all things considered. The fact that 4 of them were able to make it down the vent, and the fact that they were able to kill 3 in the post-plant situation. These guys are scrappy, man. You got to give them credit where credit is due.
Especially after a timeout being called, you just say, you know what, let's go all down the vent all together, put a smoke in there, and let's just
send it. Like, that should not fucking work. Like in any, no matter what tier you're in, bro. But like it did, and you got to respect it. I respect that hustle. That's a call. I would call that in a match. You know, I love it.
Some might say the team manager had that idea in the back pocket and said, you know what, Pythons, just do it. You got nothing to lose here. But right now, they got plenty to lose, especially now that this is their gun round. They have no economy to work in this. They're going to go for this outside presence again. But once again, the biggest thing is the util. How much util are you going to use on this attack?
Pook with the collateral, brother!
Oh,
what?
No.
Pook with the collat, indeed. Will find a 5v3 in an instant. But they were able to make themselves towards that lower end. Sable, though, able to keep things at bay. Beef finds Pook throw towards that vent position. But this is already a rough execute here towards this B side. They had a goal in mind, but it makes it even harder when your 2 players gets instantaneously taken out by an op bullet, a 308 bullet sent to the bodies of the T side, and it's going to make it a lot rougher. And now they're trying to force themselves an advantage here, but an open plan coming in here. Oh, it's going to make it a lot rough. Train's able to spot, though, but here comes Neko trying to push the advantage forward. Does one and a little bit more, but with Beef on 11 or 24 HP, it's going to make it a lot harder to make this clutch happen.
At least has a free kill on Red Bull, all things considered.
But 100 HP. It all matters about the bullet, and that's the point there. The glass able to mitigate a bunch of the damage there. Doesn't do the kill.
Bulletproof blast. That was a free kill right there. It looked like a headshot from where I'm sitting. Like,
yeah, but 17 HP is where he lands, gets the kill. Cryptic Crawlers tie it back up 4 rounds in a row to get back into this game here on the CT side, and it's going to need full regulation to determine who is the winner of Nuke here.
Oh man, it feels like just a few rounds ago where the Peasant Pythons were so far ahead, but 11-11.
This match has been an absolute shootout, Peeps. Initially, like we were ahead a bunch, then you guys were ahead a bunch. Like this is fucking cinema, bro. This is only map 1.
I am so stressed.
Some may say the
I am
predictions.
too. Why did they go down Ben again, bro?
No.
2 are down, 3 are down, 4 are down.
Succeed indeed. They get themselves down there. The rotation will come fast, though, courtesy of Trains. And so Trains has done a great job in terms of defending the B bomb site. Can they do it again is the real question. 63 HP as the nade lands on the top of the head. Wittix, though, with a very ambitious play here, going to be sitting behind the smoke here. Will Trains be suspecting about this potential is the question. Still sticking around, but Trains has been able to sneak out as well.
Here in the smoke.
But all the noise here, all the info. This is pure info for Wittix to get the clutch kills here. We'll find the double there right behind the smoke. The panty drops on the side of the crawlers. And what do you know? Provolone here to defend the B side with this Mac 10. Does well in the first. Sable, though, able to even it up. But with the bomb on low clock, it looks like it's a done deal. It looks like the Pythons, okay, Wade's going to stick with the defuse, but I don't think there's time. Wittix will make sure of it, though. And the Pythons will still take match point first. But only one opportunity.
If I was FNL, I'd call attack here. They have played at the same tempo for the last 4 rounds. They are either rushing Ven or they are rushing down Secret. Like,
we can't even get our points across before something happens. Yeah, we can't even get our
drop?
Oh, 2 Ven drops.
Like, this should not be working.
Hey, but let's be honest here. They're not out of the woods just yet. Keep in mind, they are at match point, but they only got one chance to do it. And with the way that the crawlers have been having momentum on their side in terms of the CT side, there is not a lot of room to work with here. So you got to be very careful. But right now, an outside hit is going to be the call once again. Wow. Not even the landing the smoke just yet. And Neko gets a big opportunity on a Muppet that was still holding nades out. Another lane lands onto Pook, but only a little bit of damage, able to mitigate most of it. But Pook going to make a play here. Going to play right behind the smoke. Here's all the info pushing towards that secret position. But they're making a lot of leg room here towards this. There is Trains here once again to provide some coverage. Sable
goes down to save. Oh man.
Oh no, it's already a 5v3. This T side might be able to get it just at the very nick of time. Pook though from the back line, able to find 2. No way, what a clutch there found from the defense. Beef though, able to even it back up though. Got to be very careful about Trains. You know about this one player, but Trains is continuing to hold down this B side like it's business. Lorsey in the 1v2 to try to clutch things up and win out Nuke. It's going to be a tough task to ask for, especially with Red Bull. Heard the noise, but doesn't suspect that they rotated completely out of the position, sending himself over towards Mini. But Lorsey has this 1v1 on site here. The vent rotation, actually,
really,
so both here.
Really smart rotate from Red Bull here.
Now, will Lorsey be ready for this? He does have the angle advantage. Spots it.
Sees Trains.
Oh, easy kill here. And so now the 1v1 landed. Where's that bomb? It's all the way towards Secret, but it doesn't matter because Red Bull sneaks in for the kill. It will be the OT indeed, Evan. And what a game this has been so far. We're going to need another 6 to determine who's going to be the winner here. And look at that scoreboard, man. It's just team Counter-Strike. No one really falling at the bits. Everyone providing a little bit of their own weight. We do see Sable and Beef at the negative, but it isn't by a large margin, I will say. They are really hitting hard. 1362 in the damage for Sable and Beef at 1491. It's pretty much team game here. No one is out of the woods just yet. We need another 6 in this OT to try to see who's going to win this nuke. Keep in mind, this is the pick of the Pythons, and we suspected this punish pick was going to go their way, but guess what? The crawlers came here to play.
It well and truly could be anybody's game. It could be anybody's moment. Anybody good for clutches at any time. What a game this is.
Yeah, we really can't ask for a better start of a set. Like, this is only game 1. Let me just remind the viewers at home. This is only game 1.
And let's also remind the viewers that the predictionist for this game said this was going to go to a 3-mapper. If this goes to a 3-mapper and this is just the first one,
just a question of who wants more at that point, yeah.
Indeed, Pook already starting it off with the op, able to take down Provolone, the top fragger of that squad. Going to make it a lot rougher for the Pythons to try to get back into this, and Pook continuing to find more. And we said that Pook was having a real tough time on this nuke, but now finds himself on the positive mark
Pook
here for the crawlers.
On the CT side.
And Trains continuing the reign of terror that they've been able to create towards that lower position. Muppet able to find another, leaves it to Lorsey in the 1v5. And with that little presence and not even the bomb in sight, you would imagine this is done. Oh, and even the jump should give it away. This should be a done deal. Brutal. And surely the garage player, I would imagine. Oh, but a big miss from Pook. What? The info's already been traveled. Lorsey should be taken out eventually. And yes, it will be. Pook with a 3K on the up, cleaning house.
Whenever
real
Pook
good
is
work.
Able to find value with that up, getting multi-kills, like consistent multi-kills outside.
Yeah, indeed.
Maybe he should start playing on top of garage a little bit more, because their tempo has been fast for the past like 5 or 6 rounds at this point. Could probably find a double kill if he were to do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
at
the
this
Peasant
point,
Pythons aren't being very careful for that angle. They're not really taking a lot of precautions. They're just
Yeah.
diagonal smoke and just send it down secret. And FNL are slowly starting to take advantage of that weakness.
I mean, in this case, it's a 5 fire with fire in this matchup, and right now both of them are heating this server up right now. And 13-12 is the scoreline as it reads. 13 in favor of Cryptic Crawlers, looking to continue in this spree of CT's side. As once again, it looks like it will be the outside control, but they're only going to send one here. It's going to be Beef, but having a little bit of trouble with the retaliating utility coming in from Crawlers. Good work on the util so far.
Nice
Sending
little
another
re-smoke.
batch.
There's a gap in it. Should be able to find some value out of this.
Yeah, I'm questioning a lot of
There's
this
gaps in both
util
of
being
them.
used.
There's gaps in
Yeah,
both smokes.
and this is going to make it a lot easier for Muppet to engage into the tees. Having a little bit of a hard time with the shots, but Pook will be there to save the day. Another opening for the Yopper, finding some good openings here so far in this overtime. But here we are, the T side starting to find some advantages back at you. 3v3 now, and they're going to bombard that up.
Pook with the no-scope on Neko.
No, indeed, and that's a 3v2 now in favor of the CT side for this retake, but Pook at 19 HP doesn't have a lot to live for. The upswing doesn't land just nicely. Trains, though, able to trade back, and Red Bull will clean it up onto Provolone. This chaotic round, but Crawlers managed to make it in control of theirs.
Well, I think the Peasant Pythons are slowly starting to get a good idea of what to do. Outside clearly isn't working. Their smokes aren't quite landing, and so A seems to be kind of a weak spot for the Cryptic Crawlers. Really.
Yeah, indeed, but it's going to be a lot rougher when you can't even take down the Opera at that range, when you have that availability, especially with the Opera missing so many shots. You kept hearing the Op just shoot, and not finding kills, and that should just be your way to just get that Op out of the hands of the guy who's been hitting on all accounts, and just make it a lot easier on yourselves.
That is your cue as a player to either peek the Uppers 2 once they miss, or get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, listen.
No, those
that,
are
yeah.
I was gonna
say
say
not automatic. Like
I was gonna say, those moments are the moments that you need to capitalize, because if the op is able to stay alive for that time being, good luck, because it's going to be hard, especially on a map like Nuke when it starts to take control. And right now, Pook is taking control of the server, leading the way on the Crawlers, 22-19. Red Bull and Muppet right behind your solid fraggers on the Crawlers, looking real good so far. But let's see if they can get themselves a flawless.
Here. They've got only one outside on the default here. I would love to see Beef get some value out of here on this outside lurk.
Gonna send another set towards that mini position to provide coverage. Beef, though, gotta be very careful.
Pook is up on the top ropes here.
You mentioned it earlier in the very beginning of this game. You got to hug that wall. You got to hug that smoke wall. Otherwise, it's an easy kill for the op. But the smoke already dissipated long time ago. Pook gets the kill. Easy kill onto Beef. Had to hit a bit of a flick.
We have 3 looking towards outside here. This might have actually bought the BOA time to trains going down. Super smart. Red Bull tucking. This did buy, Beef's death did buy the Pythons enough time to take that ramp control. There's 4 going towards ramp, double molly. Red Bull is stuck. Lou is staying in the lurk here, leaving 3 to go down.
Here.
Trains is playing dark, has a really easy kill here.
Gets traded out though, and Lorcy now gonna activate a
Lorcy fully moving, gets 2!
Holy Lorcy! Indeed, he sees it all. He's swinging for the fences right now, looking like a GTR at this very moment, able to get away with his life. 3 HP though, will not have a lot of HP to work with, and the bomb, I believe,
in a really good spot here.
Bomb down, but able to pick it up, and it's gonna be Provolone to pick this up, try to save this, but Lorcy now down, that 3 HP out of the count, and Provolone, the heaviest hitter for the Pythons, trying to save things here to try to keep away the flawless half here. Here's a lot of the info, but got to be very careful. Still going to go for the plant, which is a very ballsy play when you have both CTs already in position, and Sable will punish accordingly. It is the flawless CT side from the Crawlers. 3 chances to close out the Pythons' map pick of Nuke.
This is about as good as it can go for the Cryptic Crawlers. Super good on them for adapting. Taking 3 in overtime is no easy feat. 3 in a row is very difficult. They've adapted to their play style. I would just hope to see that BOA does the same on the CT side. I would love to see this to go in double overtime because I'm a glutton for punishment. I would love to cast more and more and more and more. So
Absolutely. But like you said, it's going to take 3 to continue this game forward. Otherwise, we're going to be seeing Inferno very soon, ladies and gentlemen. Keep in mind, Inferno will be the next map. It is the map pick of the Crawlers, who have not lost on Inferno yet. So already spelling disaster for the Pythons if they can't convert this OT. But we get it started here as they move over towards that CT side to try to hold back this attack. And Beef already getting a lot of info there from the Jiggle Peak is going to drop all the utility towards that position. But they're still going to push forward, and so going to have to ask for Beef to be able to hold it down, but already early contact. Pook able to get one, trade back in, but Muppet able to clean the house. 4v3 advantage for the T side. They bombard that B side with no defense coming in sight. They will arrive a little bit late, but it looks like that B side attack will be successful. And Train's able to get themselves over towards single.
Here. Train's in a great spot.
4v3.
Oh, it's 4v3. My bad. I did not see
it might be
that.
4v2 with this contact coming in. Train's not ready, though, for the headshot. And Provolone will even it back up. Neko able to find one. Lorsi able to get another 2 as well. Red Bull 1v3 to clutch it up and then win this game. It finds 1, 2 more to go. Got to take care of the position. We'll find Lorsi as well. A very, very, very unanticipated peak coming in. But either way, going to molly out the position. Provolone should take care of this, especially with no smoke on that secret position. Able to find a corner, though. The defuse being stuck. But
oh my God, Red Bull!
Red Bull will clean it up indeed, and the Cryptic Crawlers will find the win, 16-12. It was a fight from both sides, jabs, punches, and uppercuts thrown, but the Cryptic Crawlers come out on top.
Whew. I mean, shit, that had me stressing, man. That had me stressing. But, wow, 4 in a row in OT. You love to see it. I honestly, I'm like a pig in shit right now. I really can't be any happier.
That's a pretty solid analogy to say it all. But I mean, let's be honest. It seems like Pook just came online when needed most, and that was the biggest thing.
He have like 1 or 2 kills in the entire first half. He was.
I remember.
All right, it's time for me to put on the pants. I
remember it was like 3 and. I think I remember it was like 3 and 12 at one point, and that kind of just set it all there that it was really a rough going for Pook. But once got the op, once on the CT side, started to cook with gas indeed, and he cooked indeed. Top fragger of the squad of the Cryptic Crawlers there, and they find themselves their 1. Now let's not beat around the bush as well. Trains was doing solid work on the defense as well, being able to hold down every B side attack when it came at them, and did really great work to hold it back. So that defense started to pick it up little by little, and I mean they were able to get into overtime. It was so close from the Pythons to try to punish the Crawlers there, but just not able to get through the line. A lot of missed openings, really, a lot of missed opportunities, and it bites them in the butt there, and they're going to be on Inferno really hoping for something.
I mean, still, like, obviously I want my team to win, but like game 3, man, that would be absolute cinema. I would still love to see what they got on the train, but again, like we mentioned earlier, like in playoffs in best of 3, you gotta just let it roll right off you, man. Like it's a mental game. Like there's times like when I was in playoffs, I'd be like, okay, so what? We lose map 1. So what? It was our map pick. Like we're still in this, and like the only number to me that matters is 13. I don't care how well someone on my team is doing. I don't care how well I'm doing. As long as we can string those rounds together, we're still in it. Right. So I think that BOA is a very strong team. I think they're super adaptable, and I think they're going to give it their all regardless of whose map pick it is. I don't think we should be too caught up on that. I think they're going to give it their all.
Yeah, absolutely. But that 13 is going to come at a very tall hill to climb to try to get to, especially with the Crawlers have not lost on Inferno, playing it 3 times already. So this is pretty much their bread and butter, and it's going to be a lot more easier than what Nuke looked like. So it's going to have to take a miracle for the Pythons to try to get back in this series. They wouldn't be out of the tournament just yet as they are in the upper bracket, but you're going to need a lot to try to make this go to map 3. So that said, we are going to be going to that map 2 in just a bit. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, it will be Inferno. Stay tuned. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. We are here with map number 2, which is the map pick of Inferno, courtesy of the Crawlers, who currently sit in this series at 1-0 to start off this series. They did a great job to be able to close it out on Nuke. It did have to go all the way to overtime, but nonetheless, they did find themselves in the winning formula there, and they find themselves here on Inferno. They're 100% win rate here, trying to see if they could close it out in 2, or will the Pythons upset and send us to map number 3. Contact coming in already towards that top A position. They're going to bombard it, the Pythons, and they're going to fight over towards this one player, the sole player on Arch, trying to see if they can find the kills. And now they just say, you know what, screw it. Let's go into that BA site and see if we can find some advantages there. And they will. They will find both kills on both defenders of the A site. Big pickup there. Pook, though, able to rotate just in time to try to cause some damage. It's going to be a 4v3 retake here in this post plant. And Muppet already able to find one kill into the site. Great shot there. Looking to continue the fortune there. Try to keep this at bay. And great kills coming in from the CT side. Leaving it to Beef in the 1v3. But Beef can't find the kill themselves. It will be the Crawlers able to retake in efficient fashion there. Keeping 3 alive. Courtesy of Muppet on the 4K. And the Crawlers take the pistol.
Notoriously hard site to retake on. Inferno A site. The Peasant Pythons basically take that for free. But play a little untradeable. Play a little too vulnerable. And they get traded out, and the Cryptic Crawlers come out on top of 1.
Yeah, crazy that they just said, you know what, we can't kill that Arch player, so you know what, let's send it over to the A-side players and see if there's any kills on that department. They do find that, but they're just not able to hold the rest. And like you said, a map that has been plagued with horrible retake potential, and yet they are able to find one still on this pistol, which is going to allow for them to get a little bit started here on this CT side. That will get guns, but guns back from the Pythons as well, as they were able to get a bomb plant. But one already down. Muppet able to find an early kill there. Pook peeking with an MP9 from long range against the Scout. Yeah, I'll take the Scout, but either way, able to get back a lot of damage from that nade. Puts Provolone and Lorcy under 50, and it's going to be a lot tougher for this T side. And Lorcy trying to find more, but takes more of that damage there, and gonna let his feet crack a little bit. But either way, it's still that 5v4 within the first 30 seconds of the round, and I would imagine that the Pythons are going to have a lot of trouble trying to execute into a site, especially with all the positions pretty much given up. A lot of great advantage here for the
Pivoting
CT
back
side.
for a late B here after the smoke dissipates. Maybe, just maybe, a rotate is called. Doesn't look like it is at the moment.
No, it's going to have to be at the trains to try to provide coverage here, especially with this MP9. Does well in the first, has a swing for the second, will get the second. Wittix, though, able to trade back immediately. So it's a 2v4 exec coming in into that B site. They will find the bomb. They're going to find the guns necessary to make this take happen. But the rotation has arrived just in time. Muppet trying to spray through, but Pook is ready to pounce at the opportunity here. But taking their time, their sweet time. 30 seconds still on the clock. They got to get this bomb planted eventually. And they're going to stick the plant. Pook's going to try to maintain the aim and get the kill, and he will. So that's already a 1v4 on Wittix's plate here to try to make this round successful. But with all the struggle coming in from the aim, it looks like it'll be donezo. Muppet will do so. He will be on 6-0 to start off this game, and 2-0 are the Crawlers.
So far, so good. I mean, we're on our first gunny, I think. Actually, no, because of they force back into it. They can't really afford AKs. This is a little tough. However, I think they can make something work if they do a fast banana or a fast apps push.
Yeah, this has got to be treated as an eco. Just do something fast and hope for the best. I mean, we've seen Tech-9s do their miraculous work.
I mean, we've seen the Pythons make miracles happen with 5.7s and Tech-9s. So I don't expect this round could be any different. Huge nade damage, but they're going for the B-pop, backing up accordingly.
And now the M4 is fired off, but they got to be very careful, especially with the low ammo count on these weapons. Pook was able to find one while falling down, but either way, they now have a couple bullets left to go. Wittix, though, able to cause one casualty on the CT side, but it's good as done there. The Cryptic Crawlers find themselves a third here on the CT side. And now the gun buy will come out.
pretty dominant start. However, Eco was a little mismanaged. I think that this will be a lot closer now that the Pythons finally have a buy that they can string together.
Yeah, I mean, it made more sense. It made more sense, though, because of the bomb plant that happened at the pistol round. So it made more sense that they wanted to re-aggro and to try to put the money of the Crawlers now down into dumps. But unsuccessful they are. Now the gun run comes at the fourth round here.
It does feel like the Pythons are trying to push the Crawlers outside their element, just taking very fast timing and just rushing, but it's not working out. And actually, if you look at the B players, they're spamming smokes.
Default here.
Yeah, they're spamming smokes B main, and they run out of smokes very early, so B hits are very possible late in the round. Especially since the Arch player isn't giving us smokes.
Yeah, I mean, like, to the extent that the Crawlers don't really retake B, or not B, rather, Banana a whole lot, late B is a possibility throughout most of the rounds here.
The only question is, will they be very diligent in their recognition of the minimum amount of smokes that currently exist on that B site? Especially, I mean, you look at it, 2 and 4 are the current defenders of this B site, and no smoke in sight. That's Pook and Trains to have the job, the responsibility to hold down the B site. The last bit of preventative util now thrown in the molly. Cooks a chicken up. Yeah, I was already calling that too. Pook, though, into it, takes down Neko, makes it a 5v4 on the CT side. But here comes the contact.
Smoking CT, contact coming in. Nade doesn't land connect. CT is in a really good position here, pole position here to go down, leading into a 2v4. Big damage on Wittix, getting his on Sable. Has a really good timing here into ult, but is Muppet prepared for this in CT? He is, and they go down, leading it to be 4-0 Crawlers Pythons.
I would have suspected timeout coming in, and good God, I am a prediction master indeed. It will be the timeout coming in for the Pythons. They cannot find themselves an answer on this T side, and this is kind of the way that we expected this game to go. After all, Inferno, 100% win rate for the Crawlers. Pretty much their bread and butter map alongside of, I want to say, Dust 2 as well. So that said, this should be easy going for them. Hopefully we don't get that after all. The prediction committee will be incredibly pissed off that they're all wrong in terms of the series score if this is a 2-0. But right now, Cryptic Crawlers are just showing them how good they are on this map, and leading the way right now are Muppet and Train, sitting at a good old collective 15-1. Together, and it might just continue if the Pythons cannot find these openings, and it's got to come at some point, because right now these mid roundings are just not working out for the Pythons.
Yeah, seems like FNL are just used to stretching out the Pythons by delaying, just stalling out at chokes, and
get really 5 going towards ult mid here.
Ooh, and it looks like it's going to be that aggressive attack, surely. But that smoke is going to hold them back at bay just for the time being, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to push through anyways. Beef causing a lot of damage over to Muppet, and now the second line comes in, but Red Bull trying to hold things back for the time being, but the MAC-10s overrun the CT side, and it's going to be only Sable to provide some defense here. Is she ready, though, is the question. She was busy spamming the smoke towards mid and pays the price as Lorsi surprises her with the MAC-10 in her face, and look at that, a 4v2 for the Pythons, a bomb planet, and at this point, you would probably say save those AKs.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. 2 AKs need to be saved here. Notably, they do have a good bit of eco left to play with here. I mean, Muppet is at 9k. It's going to be more after the round ends, but
damage control?
AKs are AKs, right? Like, that one-tap potential is pretty huge.
We saw it a lot, especially on Nuke,
And
especially
A is one
on
of the
Muppet.
hardest sites to retake in the entire game, besides like A on like Dust 2. Like they save.
So it looks like the AKs will be saved here.
One thing we can do, we haven't done this quite yet in the stream, we can do a little bit of a score reporting for the rest of the sets going on. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
A little bit of a news delivery.
For the people watching
someone play the song.
One of the sets has concluded here. T versus Aka. Aka wins 2-0 against T, so T has been eliminated from the bracket. Moving on to, hold up, why is it the CSC website is glitched, bro?
That's why while you pull it up right now, there's going to be some aggression coming in from the CT side. That's Pook taking an early aggression take towards that banana position, but gets punished by Beef. So a 5v4 now found for the Pythons, looking to be able to string some rounds here. They were able to string some rounds in that first half of Nuke. Can they find some similar fortune here? Lorsi able to open it up onto trains here, and it's already a 5v3 for the T side. It might just be another round, and you cannot allow for this many rounds to go in favor of the Pythons, because that money is going to start draining with the amount of reinvestment that occurs. But Pythons, surely they find 2.
Huge mollies here. Muppet is in a very tough position
Jesus
here.
Christ. Call it hell if you will.
Molly. This looks like a save.
Oh God.
All right, I guess we can. I fixed the CSC website. Okay, so here we are. It is currently map 2 on the number 8 seed versus the number, I think, 5 on AG. It is 8-5 favoring Guppies. They picked up map 1. They are now playing on Nuke for map 2. Guppies are in the lead. Moving on towards Roombas versus Cow, which is right now favoring towards Roombas 10-2. Roombas picking up the first map, also playing on Nuke.
Nice.
And like I said earlier, T is out of the playoffs. Aka pretty much swept them in match day 11, 2-0. Scores 13-3 on Ancient map 1 and 13-6 on Train map 2.
Wow.
Stomp.
Stomps both ways. Both
Indeed.
ways stomps.
Indeed.
Well, we
I mean,
the right game to spectate, because this seems like it's going to go to business.
I mean, we'll
This is,
see. I
what
mean,
they call absolute cinema.
we do have the Pythons getting back into it a little bit, but all it takes is one good old CT-sided round to put them back in the dumps. But here we go. It looks like it's going to be this A aggression now. They want to switch it back and forth. They hit B all the time, and now they said, let's give A a try. And the Util going to be coming in. Sable going to get blinded, and it doesn't matter because he's got coverage. She's got coverage.
Timing here into Boiler goes down. Will Sable expect the second apps? Wittix getting ready to take A site here. 2 people scaling through Boiler. Muppet is still... Ooh, smoke boinks him on the head. Muppet gets 1, falls off accordingly.
And it's looking like a clean CT side for this round as they find themselves already at a 2-man advantage within the beginning of the round. And now Python's having to muster up some sort of aggression here, some sort of advantage. They're going to put themselves out towards that bracket position, but it's going to be a lot tougher when you don't have the manpower to make this hit happen. They got 3 players over here towards A side as well. I would imagine this defense is going to be a stronghold to go through.
We've got a very smart big pit molly here. We get a nade ready for sight. Still
diligent.
Player in apps position. What
It
a
really
shot
matters
from
about the way the kills
Proby.
go.
Gets a second. Red Bull's
Oh,
ready
but-
to answer. Goes down to Lurcy. Pook finishing it out. Whew. What a round. I mean, for there being 4 players on A site, BOA can shoot, man. Let's put credit where credit is due. Those guys are dialed in.
Yeah. I will say though, Provolone able to get a double there, but that's the first 2 kills of the game itself. So having a little bit of trouble, maybe a bit of confidence there on that opening there in the A site. Not enough to win the round, but hopefully something. As right now the Crawlers able to get a response there after 2 from the Pythons, and the op is going to come out. It's going to come out in the hands of Red Bull, which is interesting because Pook was running it on Nuke last time.
Those nades, bro.
Juicy indeed. Lorcy though able to trade back. It's a 4v4 here with great advantage, great position towards the banana position.
Got the Arch player rotating here. They don't have
Indeed.
a CT smoke out quite yet. Looks like they will after this one dissipates. We're re-smoking.
Early too. 30 seconds already into the round and they're already smoking, but
We've
T's
got
are
the
also smoking
CT
as well.
Smoke too. It looks like
Sable,
they're ready
though.
to push Sable on a really good timing here. Gets hers.
Yep.
Just keep them locked here. Stay in bottom.
It's going to make it more obvious about where they're going, and Red Bull will post up with the op. It should be easy as day. However, Beef trying to open it back into a different avenue, but Muppet going to push forward into the remaining T side, and it will be the 6th. At minimum, a tied half for the Crawlers with plenty more to go.
I don't
Really
even want
smart
to
for them.
blame in superstition, but I've seen the scoreline before.
How
That's
so?
right. No, literally, like last game, it was like this.
Oh, you're
where
right.
They were 6-2 and on Nuke on T side. Notably, the sides were different, but BOA were able to string it together for a 6-6. Would have loved to see attack from them here, but it seems like they're on the case here, playing with that fast tempo as usual. 3, no, scratch that, 5 towards alt mid. Molly stifling them a little bit. Muppet is in position. Oh, the smoke, not quite the play, but makes that with his life. Maybe Muppet has plot armor here. Red Bull getting theirs. Greedily going for the second. Also plot armor. Muppet ready to respond.
Oh my gosh, I'm surprised that these players have lived so long with so little HP.
That's what I'm saying.
But they live on forever. Red Bull now holds the line with the op. Got to be very careful though. They want to bombard his position. They want to attack for it. That name could have done something, but just doesn't find the mark. Able to cover it off with the stairs. A pot shot through the smoke. Not going to be able to find anything.
Intel, but they're going towards B. Triple Arch going to B. We still have 2 B players ready. Pook
it's Pook though.
We
saw Pook on the op on Nuke,
Can
and now
he get a
he's
second? Gets a second. Can he get a third? Gets the third!
Oh my lord. Pook still showing what he could do on the op. He was stellar on Nuke and continues to do the exact same on Inferno. A 10-4 scoreline from the opper himself. And right now the Crawlers are starting to cook. That scoreline from Nuke is no longer the consideration in this one. They find themselves 7 here on the CT side.
Again, I mean, they're down, but they're not out. 7-5 is a pretty respectable scoreline, all things considered.
Yes.
This is a CT-sided map, after all.
Absolutely.
If BOA can win this round, gain the confidence and that momentum, right? Because it is momentum and mental-based gameplay at this point, right? Like, I think they have it in them to bring this to a competitive 7-5.
Yeah, indeed. But they got to do it now. Otherwise, they're going to run out of gas. They're going to run out of funds, and they're going to run out of any chances to make more of this T side. And the Crawlers are just going to not only crawl, but they're just going to steamroll through these Pythons. And already a lot of engagement. Oh, okay, wait. They get themselves up to the lane, and a lot of contact here coming in from the lane side. Not suspecting of this, and Muppet already taking a lot of tag damage through the smoke. It's going to make it a lot tougher. There is a rotation coming in just in time. Will they clear Neko's, though, is the question. Train's ready for it, but not able to get the kill, and Neko stays alive with 10 HP. The Pook Master sneaking in will get the kill and can get active, but the AK has made their way towards this lane position, able to provide coverage. Muppet just going to go for the save, and it looks like the Pythons will find a response.
You know, one round it seems like the Peasant Pythons just rush down a site and get it for free, and the other, it feels like they just run right into a stack, and I haven't seen a single way it's went in the middle.
I think their way to stay in it is to take aggressive space into brackets here. The Crawlers have shown that they're nice, we're cooking some chicken. But the Crawlers have shown that their B is quite formidable, right? Like they have like the requisite util to pretty much damage people down to like 50 health every time they try to even take banana on those timings. So they found success. I think 2 or possibly even 3 of their rounds, I know at least 2 of them have come from them taking super aggressive space into brackets and going A, because A is hard to retake. So maybe the crawlers respond by playing a little bit more passive towards bracket, but if they keep up that momentum towards bracket, I think Pythons will find a lot of success.
Yeah, I feel like for the 3 rounds that they've been able to garner here on this T side, pretty much the majority of them came at that A side take. Bracket control working well for them. And they're looking to do the same thing here, setting 3 up here and sending 2 late towards that banana play, but the banana play will come in. Red Bull, though, able to find one beef, able to open up themselves, and it looks like it's back and forth, but yet, like you said, sneaking through the back line, it's Lorsy
with the lurk,
who catches out Muppet, and it's already a 3v3. Lorsy has a great advantage here. Sable, though, here for the task to take out that one lurker, and it will be the 3v2 coming the way of the CT side. Beef and Neko last alive to try to salvage this 4th if they can. They got the HP, they got the AKs to work. Making a lot of noise, though, is going to make it so much easier for the CT side to be prepared. Util being thrown in, able to provide a bit of a blockade of util towards that arch side, but again, a lot of noise. No shift walking. They're going full and fast, but Beef with a great headshot onto Trains, who's been a great anchor for the most part on this Cryptic Crawler squad, gets taken out, and there's an open avenue into that B site. Surely the bomb plant will go down with 25 seconds. They're taking a lot of time to clear this, which is pretty smart to do, but the bomb plant should come eventually. It's a 2v2 on the retake. And they're going to play this crossfire.
Indeed. We're in a really good cross here. One playing Emo, one playing New Box. Looks like we are doubled CT. We have a nade and a molly to answer with 2 flashes as well.
Yeah, and the crawlers only have 1 flash. They have no way of isolating or smoking off banana to just focus on the site.
They have kits too.
They need to adequately layer their peaks. It looks like they pretty much team flashed themselves. They're running out of time here. This looks like a round for the Pythons. Yep.
And it will be so. Clean work on the crossfire. It's a 1-1 for both. And it will be that 4th coming in as they settle themselves for a closer chance at that 5th, which, you know, isn't really the same as what we saw in Nuke. After all, it was a 6-6 half in that regards. But able to meet a bit of a close matchup as well there. They could find themselves this 5th. The economy not in the best state for the crawlers. You see the 3 MP9s now busted out for the crawlers. Let's see if they can make something out of this.
This is an important round to win if you were a Cryptic Crawler here. I mean, 7-5 gives the Pythons just enough wiggle room. That is if they win the pistol and the conversion. It goes to a 7-7. So both rounds are pivotal for both teams here. Or this round is pivotal for both teams, so I would love to see what happens here. It looks like we, again, have 2 towards alt middle. Nice little trade here. Sable gets hers, Wittix gets theirs. With 3 position toward alt mid here.
Cryptic Crawler's getting a little antsy towards car. They want to get some info.
Doubling back towards, we missed the boost here. There's 2 bottom banana. They definitely hear that.
Oh, burnt out completely. Oh, makes it out with 7 HP, and that's going to be a huge disadvantage for this B-side defense, and now starting to use the util very sporadically. But either way, it looks like it's good old brackets once again. That molly's going to hold them back at bay just for the time being, but they're going to go right after the molly dissipates, and nade just for good measure. Muppet though, starts on a 1, starts it on 2. Trade back onto Lorsy, though, able to keep things alive for the time being. Bomb will be recovered.
Solid position here. They're going to CT to B. Never mind, they're going back to A. Red Bull here, if they just play super disciplined, keep yourself tucked. You're in a great spot here. Going through Moto, planting to A. Pook is a man possessed, going in, trying to gets the dink, gets the kill on is Red Bull. Stuck back sight. Can they get him? They do, leaving it 8-4 for the half.
Masterfully done by Red Bull, just tucking in pit, making sure they get another point of contact for the retake. And the Peasant Pythons just can't handle the 2-pronged attack.
I mean, the biggest thing, though, is that Beef is not known of, Red Bull not known of, has all the info, so makes it known for Pook to just be ready at the certain positions that he hears as they hear that, and they just pretty much combined together into that force in that corner. I mean, they were all stuck there. And I feel like Red Bull has always been the 1v3 person every single time I see. Or not Red Bull, Beef. Beef has been 1v3ing every single time when it came to retakes. And it looked rough each single time. But either way, like you said, the Crawlers now up 8-4, looking really good on that CT side. They'll move over to the attack to try to close things out. The pistol will say a lot as to whether this game continues forward into a long marathon, or will we just see a sprint to the finish line where the Crawlers will send themselves further down into the upper bracket here.
In a lot of ways, the pistol round might be the decider here for this. This is the trained special of the smoke off Arch and send 5 into the A site here. They should have the intel. Beef is already ready for it. They've changed it up a little bit. They're doubling back to Banana. They get 2. Can they get a 3rd? This is a pretty chunky nade here from Wittix. Getting 1, falling back accordingly. What a flash. 2 are ready to respond. They're crossing. Nico is in a great spot here to get theirs.
Trying to hold down this defense, but not finding the shots just yet. However, Wittix, though,
an easy kill here. Gets the plant. Oh, my lordy. Sable goes down. Wow, what a retake from the Pythons. They kept their composure.
Indeed, keeping their composure. But, you know, that was a very, very chaotic round for that one. And I thought the Crawlers had a very big opportunity. You could tell that, yes, maybe a bracket play, maybe an aggressive A play, but instead it was just a ruse. It was just a fake. And it forced Beef's hand forward into what was 4 players heading back towards his position. But either way, the rotation comes in just in time. They're able to handle things, handle business, and they get themselves a 5th here and a solid start here on the second half.
The $1 million question here is, can they maintain that pace, that momentum? Can they get this conversion off the pistol win, putting the Crawlers on the back foot here?
I'm not sure.
Late Banana util. Gives them top Banana for free.
Top Banana for free indeed, especially with 20 seconds still.
This is smart. They are taking space simultaneously here. We have Sable lurking in Banana, getting hers, basically calling for rotates trains at this point. Oh, they're going for the B play. We've got Lurcy rotating pretty early here.
I mean, that's a pretty early advantage as well.
They double back and go A. Pook here should at least have intel for the rotates if they're playing towards Apps here and towards Arch. Looks like we were just committing to the take here.
Yeah, all 5 players here towards this B site, and it looks like it will come eventually.
Their star player is still Apps. Pook is doubling back towards mid with some friends.
Duping me right now currently because they decide, you know what, let's go towards A. Even the bomb heading towards there. It's just all the info being thrown in by Sable, just trying to make sure that this defense sticks around towards that B site, and it will be the A hit anyways. But Provolone, the best player on this Python side, gonna keep hold the trigger discipline. We'll get the 1, but
goes down to the Muppet. Sable gets another one on B side, I think. Pook with the nut shot. Lurcy in a tough spot here. Can he get the little pit player? Goes down. Really, really smart. Just textbook T side on Inferno. The push and the pull, taking top Banana fast, sending people there, giving them the intel that they're rotating over, then slowly going back, keeping a B player there to just call for rotates. This is pretty much textbook Cryptic Crawlers on this map. That was an incredible round from them.
Some chaos
and there was a little bit of magic there too. Pook with that shot in the dark, bro. My God, super sub.
Huge response there on the rebound there, and they're gonna find themselves pistols running towards them. Indeed,
Pook going towards Banana, trains with the double. Can he get a 3rd?
Not so. Instead, it's a trade back and forth.
Wittix stuck in Mexi. Has a decent timing here. Has a rifle now. No, never mind. I'm capping.
Oh, no.
Having a hard time finding the kill with the 5.7. However, finds the long-range bullet on the Muppet. And now upgrades to the Mac 10. This is a doable clutch, but has no kit, has no armor. gonna run for the smoke, try to see if he can find some opening, but not able to find it. I will say low HP on both T side
defense. As long as they
defense.
remain tradable, it should be okay. But
Wake's diligent about the potential, but
reloading
reloading into the angle.
angle.
You said it best.
Shoot that chicken, bro. Do it. Yeah.
Ten rounds found for the Cryptic Crawlers, and it looks like it's full steam ahead to the finish line of this map. We did say that Inferno was one of their bread and butter picks, and they're showing it right now. This T side is looking aggressive and looking confident as day. And right now, it's been pretty much a team game. Not one person really falling at the seams. Maybe you could say it's Sable. Currently, it's sitting at 6 and 9, but I would imagine that she's very proud that her team is able to pick up the slack and able to push forward, especially with Muppet and Pook currently sitting at 16 kills apiece. And right now, they're looking good to finish it off and send themselves further into that upper bracket. They just got a couple rounds to finish it off. The gun buy will come in from the Pythons to try to provide a response here. But it's dire straits right now for the Snakes.
He's in a good spot here. Wittix playing CT. We're talking emo. We're spamming through CT. Can we clear it? Beef gets one. Beef goes down to trains. Good trade here. Wittix is in a good spot here. Ends up getting smoked off. Just needs to wait for their team. Provi with the nice little shot here on Red Bull.
Oop him up. It's got a long way to go to try to make this retake defense happen, and it's gonna have to be all up to Trains, the low HP to try to save things up, and now Muppet's gonna have to run for the hills, try to save the defuse, but there is no time. Lorcy now knows of it, and so the defuse should be stuck by the Pythons, and it should be that 6 coming in. Muppet, very ambitious play there, but it doesn't pay off.
Yeah, a little uncoordinated from the Crawlers here. Not what we expect to see of them on their own map pick. Timeout is very smart here because they played very scattered and they were kind of playing for themselves and not as a team. So I think this is a classic Sable call out or timeout, and just to be like, you guys, we have to play tradable. We have to play tradable. This is a drum she will bang all throughout every season I've ever played with her. I can't suspect anything is different.
I will say one thing to note, though. The Pythons don't have a lot of economy to work with. You even see the XM coming out from Neko. So they're not out of the woods just yet to really make this comeback happen here on this CT side. And the buy will be coming back from the Crawlers here to try to continue things forward here into the depths of the second half here. Round number 17. And it's going to be a feisty one here. And it looks like it's going to be this early aggression into Banana, taking the position completely within the first 10 seconds.
No way to contest it. They late molly. I don't know.
Got to provide some sort of util to hold them back at bay, but instead, they're just going to play the passive game. And now, you could start to think up here for the Crawlers. What is going to be the plan of attack? And you can even go early.
A fun little off angle here with the XM. This could provide some really good value.
Gonna go for the peak.
Oh, the timing! The timing! The timing! Oh my God, Neko!
And it pays off indeed. Finds himself a double on that XM. Great cash injection as well with the weapon. And so now the T's are going to have to push this aggression towards the B site. Wittix now known up. Pook with a great headshot there. Got one more defender to combat with, and that's going to be Beef playing towards that coffin position. Beef plays a passive, wants to play the numbers game. Very smart of him. Smoke will go towards his position. Beef, though, peeks wide, and Pook will punish there. Still taking out the weapon, but it doesn't matter. Lorcy getting tagged through the smoke. It's a 3v3 on the retake. There is one player coming from Banana to try to cause havoc. It's Neko, but it's with an XM, so not the best gun for the job. Lorcy not looking the right way.
Who can you go second?
Indeed, but Pook getting traded out by Provolone. Muppet sitting alone in the corner. They got one player providing coverage towards that coffin position, but with low HP, not able to clutch it out. Muppet able to clean off though. 1v1, and Muppet with the 1v2 clutch saves it for the Crawlers. They send themselves at 11 closer and closer to that match point.
Just wow. You would think when they took 2 out and apps there, I mean, it was smart of them to escalate B, but I thought they were in a pretty unwinnable position after that. Crazy grit and tenacity from the Crawlers, especially towards Muppet and Pook there. for being able to string that host plant together.
Let's see if there's a response from the Pythons here, as it's pretty much dire straits in this matchup. Last chance to really get themselves in a winning position, in a comeback position on this map, as the Crawlers starting to push the pace forward into this banana position once again.
Oh, Red Bull's about to get timed here.
Let's see. It looks like it's going to be Provolone taking first contact. Util being thrown back in the way of mid as well from the CTs. But it will be this attack from A. This double crossfire setup. Will it be successful? Provolone finds one, finds two. Able to take down that attack. Now he's got to worry about his exteriors as well. As they are heading towards that ass position, it's going to be Pook fighting with him on the AK. Neko able to trade out two. It's Red Bull on the 1v3. Got the gun for the job. Does he have the firepower is the question. Jumping over towards that Moto position. Burning alive as well, but we'll find the kill on the Beef. Spotted the second one, so at least he has info, but he's going to get bombarded by the MP9's. Got to fight it out here, but having trouble finding the bullets onto the heads of the CTs. The Pythons will overrun him. It will be that 7 for the Pythons.
Heroics
really good on the Pythons. Really good on the Pythons for really just bombarding the bomb plant.
We're starting to see...
And from some heroics from Provolone. That 2K, that 2K saved them.
We're starting to see the heroics come out both sides. The score line's reaching the end, and every play matters more and more. We're just seeing more heroic plays.
But at least a bit of a lifeline there, as they're able to find themselves a great defense here. And Neko now fighting with the AK on the pistol. Finds a 3K there, and Lurcy just finishing the job. We'll find the double. It's clean work from the CT side. They make good work of it with only one casualty. They find themselves an 8th. But what a spray down from Neko.
Yeah, wow.
When needed most.
Yeah, you don't see that in Recruit usually.
No, it's pretty rare. I mean, we've seen it on Akka from Sweetmeat. I've seen Sweetmeat get 4, like on Ika pushes like that on like Dust B, but it is rare to see that type of control. But someone just get knifed. What the? Crawlers, what are we doing, bro? And we missed the molly. No. I'd be frazzled too if I got knifed. I ain't gonna blame them on that.
Everything's getting out of control here on Inferno. It looks like it might just come down to the wire if the Crawlers can't find themselves around here. But once again, we said that this was a moral on this Inferno, which has been that banana position, and it's always been overrun by the T side, whether the Pythons or the Crawlers. The Crawlers find themselves in great position, but they've never been able to capitalize on this advantage here. Still taking it very slow, not even taking apps control either. They're just playing it very slow. They're going to throw a smoke out towards that bracket side to try to force some sort of idea that there is a bracket take coming your way. Muppet surely is going to be throwing Util as well. But a lot of noise has been made on B. Surely this is info for the CT side that has already arrived here in support.
It's all quiet on the Italian front, but Train seems to have decided on which side they want to hit. Bomb position toward B, and Beef boosted up above Wittix, who's playing below him.
Even if a smoke is thrown free-handed, it doesn't matter because Beef will have the line. But either way, they're going to go for a contact. Pook, though, great headshot there, but not suspecting of the Beef man. Watching from this position, but the smoke lands perfectly in his face. So it's going to be a lot rougher to try for a defensive position here to overtake. But Beef actually pushing through, but Muppet will punish. Pook finds another as well. And the Crawlers have crawled their ways into the B site for this match point with last two players, Provolone and Lorcy, out of the round, a smoke in their face, and no advantage in terms of the kill department. You would imagine this match point will come sooner rather than later. And Provolone, though, still able to find a headshot onto Red Bull, leaves it 4v2, but with all this info being made, Lorcy's going to get killed from the back. Surely he's not even trained who has to do it. It's going to come in. And it will be the pinch coming in. They will take out Provolone. Crawlers will be at 12. Match point with 4 chances to close out Inferno and close out this series, sending themselves closer and closer to that upper semifinals.
Beef, poor Beef. He makes a play that normally would work in Recruit, but he was just punished by Sable's really good utility. This FNL team is nerdy when it comes to their utility. I have seen so many
Oh yeah,
lineups.
dude. Sable and Trains might be in like the top 1% of like they've graduated summa cum laude of the in the util university. Let's just put it at that. They're working hard in the lab.
Oh yeah, and their efforts are showing. Strung together multiple rounds for them this game.
Now, can they close it out here? This is their best chance here. Muppet currently sitting at 20-9. Pook at 24-13. Really hitting hard on this Inferno. Sable just sitting back and enjoying the ride at the moment. And with the banana presence taken once again within the first 30 seconds, it's looking like there's not really that many options, that many answers for the Pythons. They're kind of stuck in this position. They can't move forward. Otherwise, they're going to have a bunch of AKs aiming towards them. So they can only sit back and watch what occurs in front of their faces. And it will be 4 players setting themselves up for this B execute soon enough. Sable, though, playing that lurk position towards that apps, seeing if she could find an answer, but nothing will come towards her. Instead, she will have to rejoin her team soon enough. But here comes the util. They miss a smoke, though, and I believe that's a smoke for Coffin. But here we go. The hit's coming in, and there are 3 players here to defend the B side. Beef taking first contact, but instantly deleted by the AK. 1 player left on the side to try to combat. It's Wittix, but trades back and forth. They're able to trade out that 1 player that tried to push through. That was Lorsi. So bomb will be planted.
Crazy $1 million lurk here.
Indeed, and Sable could be the ender of all here. It could be all done and dusted.
Nico with the crazy no scope.
But can they get ready for
Sable gets out
blue
provolone, Trains is stuck pool, Sable coming to help Nico in a 1v2 with 37 health. Sable takes him out, leaving it 13-8. Cryptic Crawlers 2-0, clinching an upper final spot.
Absolutely phenomenal work there from the crawlers there. They clean it up. Mean business here. It looked a little bit choppy there towards the end of that first half, but you could see that once they got towards that T side, even if it is the T side, they got all hands on deck and they were really ready to show out. And I mean, like I said, it looks like they had their highest fraggers really hitting on all fronts there.
One of the things, not to guess at my own team, but like one of the things I think the crawlers do very well for the tier is they really have mastered the push pull on T side. They take that banana space early when it's given to them. They'll keep a lurker there, and then they'll just like move back. Like I've told them, and Trains and Sable, who are the large majority of like the brain behind the operation, they will pretty much like tell them, they're like, if we are not doing 2 things at once on Inferno on T side, then we're basically doing nothing, right? So if we take top banana, we need to be going towards that app space and that bracket space just to like force rotates, do this, do that. And I think they did that really well. And they did a very good job of showing us why Inferno was their map pick.
I mean, let's be honest, it also has to be at the CT side as well, not really showing that initiative to take the aggression on banana or towards that app position. There wasn't really any complexity in their defense. It was pretty easily readable on all fronts, especially when just taking all that control within the very first 30 seconds of the round. Like I said, you just basically put them in a position where they can't move. No one on B can move forward in terms of taking back the control. It's pretty much just waiting to see what's going to happen in front of your face. And in many cases, when you're stuck on the site, the rotations are going to come incredibly late if you're taking A. So a lot of issues there on the CT side. Keep in mind, though, they are not out. The Pythons are not out. They will be just going to the lower bracket in this case, where they will be awaiting their matchup as well. But it will be the Crawlers, the Cryptic Crawlers, who take the dub there after a very barn-burning 16-12 win on Nuke, but then a more convincing and confident win here on Inferno, 13-8. And it was a solid showing.
Another thing I'd like to point out, I guess, while we have the time and opportunity to do so, is 3 out of the 4 sets that have happened tonight in Recruit have been 2-0s. So we obviously just watched the Crawlers do it on BOA. Roombas did it on Cow 2-0. They had a 16-13 on Mirage and a 13-5 on Nuke. Then again, as I mentioned earlier, the Dropouts beat T 2-0, 13-3 on Ancient, and 13-6 on Train. Currently, wow, we're still on game 2, AG versus Guppies. It is 9-11, currently favoring Guppies on DE Nuke.
Wow. going to be a barn burning one on that end too as well. But I mean, we cannot mistake that this game pretty much delivered, whether it was just a 2-0. But you know, this is what we expected, especially with the way that we said the map picks went. It was a bit of a punish pick for the side of the Pythons on that nuke, but it just didn't pay off. They couldn't finish it over the line. It all had to come up to Pooks to really pick things up with the op on that CT side and really send it forward. And then once they got the op on the CT side of Inferno, it was pretty much the same story being told. So we're gonna take a bit of a quick break in the meantime while we see what the next thing is to hold. But as I mentioned, it is gonna be your Cryptic Crawlers taking the 2-0 win over the Pythons.
All right.
Oh, it looks like that we're going to be ending today. So that said, thank you for all of you tuning in. It was a very huge blast for Evan and Peebs to be able to hold it down on the fort. And once again, I am your caster Region as well, joining in on the stream. It was a very solid matchup, and thank you all for joining in. It was really fun to watch, and stay tuned for future matchups here at the CSC organization.
Real pleasure. Thanks, y'all. Peace.
Yep. Peace.